What's going on, Wolves? It's your boy Saeed. I'm feeling very mellow. I just got out of the gym, stretched, hit the punching bag, and did some calisthenics and gymnastics. So I'm feeling fantastic. So I want to make a video on how to be yourself. And I got the idea to make the video because I've been listening to The Alchemist, and I've been listening to it audiobook. You can just go on YouTube, type in The Alchemist audiobook, 2 hours 55 minutes, listen to it. It's a beautiful book. I'm almost done, and I thought, you know what, I'll tie it into how to be yourself. Okay, so basically the way I see it, each one of us, again, I'll emphasize, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Each soul comes into this earth, into this plane, right? The physical plane. And there is a destiny for each one of us. And you can clearly see when someone is being themselves by just looking at them and just like seeing them, just watching them, right? Like, if I look at Cristiano Ronaldo, or if I look at Lionel Messi, or Will Smith, or someone that looks like they're full of life, full of energy, full of excitement, and you can just tell they're in the flow of life. They're just being themselves. And this is because they've had the courage to follow their path, their destiny in life. Okay, I always talk about finding your passion in life, because I feel like once you find your passion, and along with your passion usually comes your purpose. That's your passion, your purpose, your destiny. It's all talking about the same thing. Then everything kind of falls into place. You meet the right people, you go in the right environments, attract the right people, attract the right mates, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, right? You attract the right people, and you just kind of feel like you're in the flow of life, and you just have this excitement, what I call the tingling in your balls, or the tingling in your ovaries when you wake up in the morning, right? You're excited. You want to get up. You can't wait. You go to sleep, you can't wait to get up, because you're looking forward for the next day, as opposed to, oh my fucking God, I gotta go into traffic for an hour and a half, and then I gotta get to work, and then I gotta deal with my boss, who's an asshole. And my boss is an asshole because probably he's just as miserable as me, and he decided, he's not gonna follow his real destiny, what his soul's calling for. And so you start to fall into these traps of misery, and you're not being yourself. You're putting on a social mask. You're pretending to be someone you're not. Okay? And I find that the process of finding yourself, the real self, and just being yourself, not giving a fuck what anyone says, and just following your destiny, right? It's more about unlearning, like Yoda says, right? You must unlearn what you have learned. You see? And I think once we unlearn what we have learned, what we find beneath it all is ourself, the inner child, the inner kid. The way I was able to kind of find my passion, which is making YouTube videos and fitness, revolving it around fitness and personal development, I simply went back to when I was a kid. When I graduated from university, I did a bunch of reflections. And I went back to my childhood, and I said, what was it that I loved when I was a kid? And when I was like 2, 3, and I even talked to my mom, I'm like, when I was even smaller, I'm 1 year old, 2 years old, what did I like to do? What was it that I loved to do? And I remember I used to watch this Syrian soap opera, right? And it's like, it's called Al Jawarih. It's like a bunch of swords and stuff, right? Like just fighting, like just battle, kind of like, how can I put it? It's just like, it's a soap opera, like there's tribes fighting and swords and stuff. And I was like 1.5, maybe 2. And I had like a wooden sword. And every time the soap opera would come on, I'd just be like, like just screaming. I had that inner warrior from me since I was a kid. And like, I remember when I was 4 or 5, this is not even my mom telling me, just I remember constantly moving around, constantly running, constantly just being active, loving sports. I was like pretty talented at several sports when I was growing up. So of course what I've learned later on is that I have to go get a degree and I have to be this person and pretend to be this, make a living and just pay my bills and, fit into society. And of course, for me to find what my passion in life is, I had to unlearn what I have learned, since I started. It's basically when you get into the education system, right? The education system ruins you the fuck out. It just sucks your soul, right? Just buries that real self, that inner child in you, just buries it completely. So a good way to be yourself is just go back to your childhood, man. What did you like to do as a kid, even now, what is it that tingles your balls the most? I mean, really get down to it. Like, I know that even when I was going through university and I hated my life and I failed a bunch of courses, and I remember coming back from university from after third year failing this course, and I started crying, but always what was there for me was the gym. What was there for me was exercise. What was there for me was fitness. And if I asked myself this question, what was it that I like to do most when I wake up in the morning? Working out. Even during my university years, was my favorite thing. I hated my life, hated everything, but working out. So even now you can figure it out without having to go back to being a child. What is it right now that really makes time disappear, makes it go away, right? What is it right now? You can figure it out right now. You don't have to be a kid. Right now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have this one thing, drawing maybe. You get just completely lost in drawing, or painting, or public speaking, or fitness, or a combination of all of these things, right? I like public speaking just as much as I like fitness. It gets me in the zone, I forget time, I just feel like I'm being myself, okay? So, you must learn what you have learned. Unlearn it all. Question everything. Question authority. Question what you're doing. Hell, even question the way you shit. Because we've been taught to shit on toilets, which is actually unhealthy for our gut. Okay? Question everything, man. Everything. Question it. Alright? Because it's all been a huge fucking lie. Most of us, all of us have been lied to. Right? That inner child, that real self, that soul, the soul, right? Has been buried underneath civilization, underneath society, underneath materialism, underneath, just making money. It's all about making money, right? This system that we created, right? This, poisonous system. So, moral of the story, after all of this ranting, I want to give you guys something meaningful you can take with you and help you to become more yourself, more confident, more in the flow of life, and you feel like genuine happiness, right? Soul happiness, that's genuine happiness. It's like you kind of just feel like, hey, my soul is doing its thing and I'm really happy. And you see it because you start to attract a lot of happiness into your life and everything flows smoothly. You meet the right people. So go back to your childhood, see what is it that really got you fired, right? That tingled your balls, tingled your ovaries. And unlearn what you have learned and question everything about society, okay? Observe for your own and make your own conclusions about life, and do it alone. I mean, you're not alone. That's another video I want to make, that you're not alone. A lot of you guys think you're alone, you're alienated, but everyone around you feels the same way. But few people have the courage, have the bravery to stand up and actually say, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna do me. But everyone around you thinks like that. Everyone around you, just look, observe people, man. Everybody feels self-conscious. Everybody feels like they're putting on a social mask. Everybody feels like I have to pretend I'm this person. Everybody, okay? There are only few, and that's why these people that stand out and be themselves stand out, because there are not many people that have the courage to step out of this society, out of this sheep mentality, right? Because you're scared of being rejected by society and say, you know what? Fuck it all. I'm gonna do my thing. But you guys watching this video up until now, I know you guys have it in you to stand up and be like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna be myself. This is what I think. I'm gonna unlearn everything, and I'm just gonna take in whatever makes me happy and makes my soul feel alive. Check out SaidMobayed.com for inspiration, for empowerment, and go to the description. I got a free book, 5 Powerful Habits to Dominate in All Areas of Life, and that's it. As always, you know what, leave me something in the comments. I love all of you guys, every single one of you. Much love and appreciation for everything you guys do, watch the videos and stuff. Love you all. And as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with them fishes.